Alrighty guys, what's going on? So today we are going to be talking about writing systems of equations or inequalities. Let's go ahead, let's get right into it. We have been talking about systems of equations, and that's when we have two or more equations. This scenario that's given to us is going to generate these two equations, and let's talk about how we can generate those. The cost of 3 boxes of envelopes and 4 boxes of notebook paper is about $13.25. 2 boxes of envelopes and 6 boxes of notebook paper is $17. The very first thing that I want to recognize is that there are two items that we are going to be talking about. Those first two items are, let's see, X can represent one of my items, Y can represent my second. The first item we are talking about is envelopes. And the second item that we are talking about is, let's see, envelopes and notebook paper. So we can say notebooks. Now, from here, we can actually generate an equation from this first sentence. So 3 boxes of envelopes, that's 3x, and 4 boxes of notebook paper, that's 4y, is going to equal 13.25. So let's write my first equation. So 3x plus 4y equals a total of 13.25. Let's take a look at my second sentence. 2 boxes of envelopes, 6 boxes of notebook paper. Okay, so 2x plus 6y gives us a total cost of $17. And there we go. That is my system of equations. And we can solve this if we wanted to. I'm not going to right now. Let's go ahead and let's practice another. One night, a theater sold 548 movie tickets. An adult ticket is $6.50. A child's ticket is $3.50. And overall, they made $2,881, and that was taken in. Okay, so again, we need to figure out what my two variables are. So I need to figure out what x is and what y is. The two items that we are talking about this time are adult tickets. So we can say adult tickets are x. And my second ticket are child tickets. Okay, let's write in a system. So adults cost $6.50, child tickets cost $3.50, and if we take the dollar amounts, so $6.50, $3.50, how many dollars there should be total is $2,881. So that's going to look a little like this. So $6.50 for an adult plus $3.50 for a child is going to be equaling how much money total? $281. Now, I want to talk about my second equation. And it doesn't look super obvious, but that's going to come from the total number of movie tickets. Remember, X represents adult tickets, Y represents child tickets. So the number of adult tickets plus the number of child tickets is going to give me a total of 548 movie tickets. So another way I want you to think about this, the cost of movie tickets and then the number of movie tickets. And there we go. This is my system of equations. Let's try another. Kenny is going to a store to buy candles. Small candles cost $3.50. Large candles cost $5. She needs to buy at least 20 candles. Okay, we're using a different verbiage here. She needs to buy at least 20 candles. And she cannot spend more than, so no more than, $80. Okay, let's talk about my two variables. So again, I need an x and I need a y. It looks like the first thing we're talking about are small candles and large candles. So those will be my two variables. So X is going to be small candles, and Y is going to be my large candles. Okay, again, we are going to keep the cost goes with the cost. So dollar signs will go with dollar signs. So we can say it's going to be 350 X, that's my small candles, plus the price of my large candles, $5. And then, let's see. So Ken is trying to buy these candles, and she cannot spend more than 80. More than is normally just a greater than sign, but since it's not more than, cannot spend more than, it is going to be less than. Now, can she spend $80? And the answer is yes, she can. So the symbol we are using here is less than or equal to $80. And so again, that comes from this word here. She cannot spend more than 80 bucks. So it's going to be less than or equal to 80. All right. Altogether, she needs to buy at least 20 candles. So all of the small candles plus all of the large candles, she needs to buy at least 20 of them. That is a minimum of 20 candles. Well, a minimum value means we are going to be using a greater than sign because she needs to make sure that she gets at least, so 20 or above. Oh, I just gave it away. It should be equals to, greater than or equals to 20. So she needs 20 candles or more. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so check it out. This is actually our equation from question 1. So 3x plus 4y is equal to 1325. 2x plus 6y is 17. Okay, now it's actually asking us to find the cost of an envelope and the cost of a notebook paper. Again, envelopes are x, notebook papers are y. Now, the way I can solve this system is I'm going to use graphing. Again, that's just kind of my preferred method. So I'm going to use a graph to solve. In order for me to use a graph to solve, I need to solve these for y. So I need to get y by itself. So I'm going to put a line down my sign. Hopefully you're familiar with this process already. If you are not, guys, this is a skill that you need to know. It is no longer a option. And then finally from here, we divide both sides by 6. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to leave this as a fraction. So 2 over 6, I'm going to leave it as just 2 over 6. 16 over 6, I'm going to just leave it alone as 16 over 6. If you want to use decimals, you can, but I like fractions a little bit more because I think when I divide by 6, I get a repeating decimal. So I'm going to leave it as fractions. And check it out, we have this solved for y. Let's try the second one. So the second equation, 3x plus 4y, 1325. Again, this skill, this process is something that needs to be known. If you still are struggling with this, you need to come in for tutoring because this is a skill that is necessary. So I subtract 3x on both sides. And almost done here. My final step is to divide everything by 4. Oh, let me keep it red so that way stay consistent. And my final answer is y is equal to, again, I'm leaving these as fractions. And there we go. Okay, now the whole reason why I solve this for y and I solve this one for y is so I can graph it. Again, I'm going to be using Desmos here to help me solve this problem. So, once I come over to Desmos, I can graph my first problem. So y equals -2 divided by 6. X plus 16 divided by 6. There's my first line, which is this red line over here. Second line, y equals -3 divided by 4. X plus 1325 divided by 4. Alrighty, and there's my second line. From here, guys, all I'm trying to figure out is where do these lines cross? And it looks like there's a point here at 155, comma, 215. So let's make a note of that point. So 155, comma, 215. Okay, so I found where my lines cross. I figured out that it's at these 2 points. Let's talk about the significance of these points. I want to remind you what my X stood for. My X stood for, I guess I should have put a $sign over here, but X stands for the cost of an envelope, and Y stands for the cost of a notebook. So the cost of a box of envelopes is $1.55. So it's $1.55 for envelopes. And my Y is $2.15 for a price of paper, for a box of paper. There we go. We solved it. All right, let's try another. Here it's asking us how many of each kind of ticket was sold. So again, I want to remind you, X are my adult tickets and Y were my child tickets. Let me double check that real fast. Yep, X was adult, Y was child. Okay. All right, now again, I'm going to solve this by graphing. So X plus Y is equal to 548. I'm solving this again. This one's a pretty easy one to solve. Just subtract X on both sides. X and X goes away, and I'm left with Y is equal to -X plus 548. There we go. Then my second equation. So my second equation is $6.50 plus $3.50. Y equals 2,881. Okay. Again, draw a line down my sign. First step, I'm going to subtract 650 on both sides. $6.50 and $6.50 go away, and I'm left with $3.50y is equal to -$6.50 x plus 2,881. Ooh, I'm running out of room here. Sorry, guys. And then divide both sides by 350. Now, something that I want to say, again, keep these as fractions. So it's going to be y is equal to -650x divided by 350 plus 2,881 divided by 350. And guys, there we go. We have my two equations set up and ready to go. Now, all I need to do is graph these and see where they cross. So, let's do that. Okay, let me get rid of my old equations here. here's my new one. So y equals negative x plus 548. Y equals negative 6.50 x divided by 3.50 plus 2881 divided by 3.50. Okay. Now, if you notice over here on decimals, I don't see anything, so I have to zoom out quite a bit until, there we go. Now I can see where my lines are crossing, and it looks like they cross at this point right here, which is 321 and 227. So 321, 227. All right, and again, I want to remind you, 321 are my adults. Yep, are my adult tickets. So we sold, hang on. Sorry guys, my iPad's freezing on me. Let's try this again. Okay. All right, let's try this again. So we got my point of 321 and 227. 321, again, are the adult tickets that were sold. So 321 adults. Adult tickets were sold, and 227 children or child's tickets were sold. All right, there we go. We got our second problem done. Let's go ahead and let's keep talking about how these kind of go all together. So a business owner purchased at least 22 phone cases and AirPod cases. A phone case cost around $450. An AirPod case cost around $375. If the business owner spent a total of $94.50, how much of each did the business owner purchase? Okay, so again, we have two variables. So we have X and Y. In this case, it looks like we are talking about two different things, which are phone cases and AirPod cases. So let's let X be phone cases, and let's let Y be AirPod cases. And these are going to be the number of cases is what we are looking for. Not the price. We already know the price of these cases. One is $375, the other is $450. Okay, so we're going to go cost with cost. So dollar amounts go with dollar amounts. So it is $450 for a phone case. So 450x. Oh, let me do this in another color. So 450x plus 375y. If the business owner spent a total of $94.50. There is my first equation. All right, now my second equation. She sold a total of 22 cases of each. So, excuse me, a total of 22 cases. So the number of phone cases plus the number of AirPod cases should give us a total of 22. And there we go. Here is my system. Now, it's asking us to solve this system. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's take my first equation. So 450x plus 375y is equal to 94.50. Again, the way I'm going to solve this is by graphing. It's just what I like to do. So let's solve this. Draw a line down my sign, guys, and we're going to subtract 450x from both sides. 450 and 450 goes away, and I'm left with 375. Y. is equal to negative 450 x plus 9450. My last step is to divide everything by 375. Again, I'm going to keep these fractions as fractions. Sometimes they're pretty numbers, but I just prefer fractions. If they are a pretty number, absolutely, you could use those pretty numbers. And 9450 divided by 375. And here is my first equation. Over here on the right, let's do my second equation. So here's my second equation. And let me go ahead and draw a line down my side. This one's a pretty easy one when solving for x. Subtract by x on both sides. And x and x goes away, and I'm left with y equals negative x plus 22. And there we go. Now, then I have both of my equations. What I can do is hop over to Desmos once again. And let me graph both of these. So my very first equation is y equals negative 450x divided by 3.75. Woo. Divided by 3.75 plus 94.50 divided by 3.75. Okay, and there is my first equation. My second equation, same thing. Y equals negative x. I'm going to type it into Desmos. And here we go. Now, my lines look pretty close together, so I'm going to push the home button. And then from there, let me zoom out and find where they cross. And there we go. So it looks like these two lines cross at 16,6. So let's make a note. It looks like I have some free space over here. So 16,6 is my final answer, where we sold 16 phone cases and 6 AirPod cases, because this is X, this is Y. And there we go. We are all set. Okay, number 7. 2 customers went to a shipping store. The first customer paid $30 for 3 large boxes and 15 envelopes. Second customer paid $50 for 8 large boxes and 10 envelopes. Find the cost of each. Okay, so we are looking for the cost. So we have X, we have Y. We'll say X is the cost of a large box. And Y is going to be the cost of an envelope. Okay, second step, write a system. All right, well, let's see. My first equation is 3 boxes and 15 envelopes. So 3x, let me color code these. So 3x plus, I am going to write it down here, guys, because whatever we write up here will just eventually come down here. So just trying to save us some time. So 3x plus 15y. So 3 large boxes and 15 envelopes gives us $30. So $30. And there's my first system. My second system is 8 large boxes, so 8x and 10y. So 8x plus 10y. That cost us $50. Okay, now let's solve these systems so we can figure out what the cost of these are. So draw a line down my side. I'm going to subtract by 3x on both sides. 3x and 3x goes away over here. Cross those out, and I'm left with 15y is equal to negative 3x plus 30. Finally, I divide by 15. And then I get y is equal to, here's my final equation, y is equal to negative 3 over 15 over 15x plus 30 over 15. Oh, that one is a pretty number. That one gives me 2. And there we go. All right, let's try another. So same thing, draw a line down my side. Going to subtract 8x on both sides. 8x and 8x goes away. And I'm left with 10y is equal to negative 8x plus 50. Divide both sides by 10. And so I get y is equal to negative 8 over negative 8x. Let me write that in black, actually. So y is equal to negative 8x divided by 10 plus 50 divided by 10 is 5. And there we go. So here are both of my systems. And let's graph these and see what we get. Alrighty, so my first one is y equals negative 3 divided by 15 x plus 2. My second one is y equals negative 8x divided by 10 plus 5. Alrighty, let's see where they cross. It looks like over here. So at 5, comma 1. So it is 5, comma 1. Okay, well, that's pretty nice. It is $5 for a large box, and it is $1 for a envelope. And there we go, there we go. We were able to solve it. All right, guys. It looks like we do have a practice over here for you guys. I would like for you all to try to figure these out as well. So think about what the system is going to be and try to solve those on your own. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.